Hello there, Stevos, and welcome back to another unboxing video. So you may remember last week I did the unboxing for the iPad Pro 13-inch M4 iPad, as alongside the Magic Keyboard and the Apple Pencil Pro as well. There is a video that will be coming out next week, actually, on Wednesday, where I'm going to be discussing my thoughts on the iPad Pro and how I've been using it and all of that kind of stuff. So that's going to be coming out. But in this video, as the title suggests, there is another unboxing video. And again, this came out of my savings. Again, this is something that I've been saving for a while, to be honest with you. And it is something, again, that I'm going to be using quite often, to be honest. And I'm talking about, let me just bring it to the camera. I'm talking about this. This is the Apple MacBook Air. This is, by the way, the M3. So it is like the Apple Silicon. So this is going to be slightly slower, marginally, shall we say. It's going to be slightly slower than what the iPad Pro is. And based on how I've been using the iPad Pro so far, it's really fast. So I'm going to expect that this is going to be slightly slower. But this is the latest MacBook that does have the Apple Silicon chip in it. Obviously, there is no MacBook out there at the moment that has got the M4 chip in it or anything like that. I'm sure that's going to be coming a little bit later this year or going into next year, or you never know. Apple may do a U-turn and they may do what they did with the iPad, really, because the iPad had the M2 chip in it before skipping a generation and going straight to M4. So, knowing Apple, they may skip the M4 lineup for MacBooks and instead do the M5 chip, which of course is going to be way faster than the iPad Pro and any of the other Apple Silicon chips or Apple devices that will have that silicon chip in it. But anyway, so the MacBook Pro. MacBook Air, sorry. MacBook Air, not the MacBook Pro. MacBook Pro was very, very expensive, by the way. So this is the MacBook Air, which I'm okay with. I've got a Pro product in the form of the iPad. This is the Air product that I wanted to get. It's slightly cheaper as well, which is great. Now, admittedly, I will be honest. I did earlier this year, actually, I think. Literally just as 2024 began, I did an unboxing for the Samsung laptop. Now, while the Samsung laptop is great, it is Windows operated. I did mention this a couple of weeks ago in my weekly vlog that I did, that I do a lot of editing in terms of videos, in terms of content creating. I do a lot of that on my iMac, which is in the corner just behind my camera. And, you know, I still use my iMac quite a lot. I mean, I use it to, sometimes I watch, like, stuff on Disney Plus or on Netflix and stuff like that, and it's great for that. I video call my friend Kieran as well. We have a video call twice a week again. I use my my iMac for that. I did used to do podcasting as well on my iMac, but I kind of, I'm not going to say I've given up, but I think doing podcasting is something that I'm going to come back to a little bit later on, I think, down the line. But again, I'd still need my iMac to do that. But in terms of video editing, though, I do that on my iMac. And, you know, and while editing on my iMac is great, but at the same time, I'd love to take that editing sometimes on the go. There has actually been a Sunday and stuff before in the past where I've been away, I've been with my girlfriend, and I've not really been able to edit anything in terms of videos and stuff like that. And it just keeps me quite occupied and quite productive, really. More specifically, like, for example, you know, like, for example, I have a shower, get dressed, and then normally my girlfriend Grace, she normally goes into the bathroom, has a shower and gets ready for a night out or gets ready to go out for the day and stuff. And I'm kind of sat there in the hotel room thinking to myself, well, I can't really edit any videos because I don't have like a laptop or anything like that with me. So therefore, that is why I did decide to get the the MacBook Air. Now, it's pretty much the same as the iPad Pro, and I didn't mention this in the last video, in the last unboxing that I did. So the iPad Pro that I've got is actually the base model, so it's a 256GB iPad Pro. This is the same for the MacBook Air. It is 256GB of memory with 8GB of RAM, which again, same for the iPad Pro as well. That's got 8GB of RAM, and I've got this one in Starlight as well. It's kind of like a goldenish kind of colour. So yeah, so without further ado, what we're going to do is we are going to open the box, which, similar to the iPad Pro, it has got these little kind of like things, like these green arrows to say this is how you open the box. So this is the 15-inch, by the way. You can get it in a 13-inch. I felt as though the 13-inch was going to be, I wouldn't say, you know, like, I would have said the 13-inch model, it may have been in screen size, it would have been slightly bigger than what the iPad Pro over there is. I mean, the iPad Pro is 13-inch that I've got there, but I just thought, you know what, I'll get a bigger kind of screen, because I do like to use bigger screens when it comes to laptops and stuff. I've never really been somebody that has had like a kind of a portable one. I mean, a lot of people would argue and say, Steve, why didn't you get the 13-inch? Because if you're just going to be using it for travelling, then that would have been ideal. I mean, I do have a bag that I can obviously pull it in and stuff to keep it safe. So yeah, so anyway, so I've taken the box off. And what we're going to do is we are, if I can, just, there we go. I just had to very quickly kind of grab it. I'm just going to set that to one side very quick, and I will show you what else we do get in the box. So we get this designed by Apple in California, and again, I don't think, similar to, I'm going to be very surprised if it does come, oh, it does come with Apple stickers. Oh, great. It comes with Apple stickers, which a lot of people who love Apple really do love, and obviously it does come with like the manual and stuff like that. So it does come with that, which is great. It also, as well, does come with a plug, which is, again, really, really great. I'm just going to take, if I can, this bit of paper that seems to be covering the ports, because this is the other thing, actually, that I needed to show you guys. So while I do that, hang on, I'm nearly there. I got it. Also as well, it does come with obviously the UK 3-pin charge, because this bit here is basically the USB-C port bit, and then obviously you get the plug so you can plug it in. Now what I love about this, and you didn't get this with the iPad Pro, so what I love about this the most is the fact that I'm going to take the bit of paper off here as well, just so that it's comes off. Lovely stuff. There we go. It's going to take me a while, by the way, to because I did get this with my savings as well. So, I mean, it's going to take me a while to save again, but it's okay though, because honestly, I'm really good with budgeting money anyway. But what I do love about this though, if I kind of bring this up, you have 2 USB-C ports. Now that's great news for me, because I never got a cable, a charger, like a plug with a USB-C port on it for my iPad Pro, which is great. So I literally just connect this into there. There we go, that clicks in, and there we go. So that there is the plug, which I do think actually might be a little bit similar to the plug that you use for your iMac, for example. So I'm going to leave that there. And then you also get a USB-C to MagSafe charging port as well. So, which again, a lot of people who I have seen review the MacBook Air and other MacBook products recently, they're really glad to see that this has come back, because I think for a little while they didn't do MagSafe. I believe the cable for this is around about 2 meters long, so it's quite a long cable, but to be honest, that gives you more than enough length for you to kind of go and sit somewhere, even if you are not anywhere near a plug socket. I think it's great for that, so I'm just going to plug that in there for now. We will look at that a little bit later on, because again, I think that's great. Right, okay, so I'm just going to stick that there for the time being. There we go. And then there's nothing else in the box, so there we go. So we can leave that down there. And now we're coming on to the main event itself, the MacBook Air. So I'm going to take off this bit of paper. Let me know in the comment section down below, by the way, what Apple products you guys own, because I would love to hear your thoughts on what Apple products you guys own. So here we go. MacBook Air. It's very thin, very light, and also as well, can I just say, I know it does a little bit when I kind of pull it towards the daylight, it kind of looks silver, but when I look at it in the light from the background, it does look starlight, like kind of like a goldish colour, which is nice. So as you can see, it's got the Apple logo. Now, you know what I miss about the Apple? I know what I miss about like MacBooks and stuff. I remember years back they used to light up the Apple logo on the MacBooks and stuff, didn't they? But they don't do that anymore. And then on the bottom, it's just plain, but obviously you've got these like little kind of stand things. So obviously it means that, you know, your laptop is kind of safe and secure on like a desk or like on a unit or something like that. Now, I'm going to be honest, the Samsung laptop that I did get at the beginning of the year, I'm still going to use that, but I think, to be honest with you, I'm going to more use it for like kind of backup kind of laptop. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Samsung laptop is great because yes, it is kind of a 2-in-1 kind of laptop, so it does act as mostly a laptop, but at the same time it can act as a tablet as well, which is great. I do love it. But the only issue is obviously they don't do the movie editing software because it's a Windows, and obviously the editing software that I do in order to create my YouTube videos and stuff is on an Apple product. So there is that. On top of that though, I just want to have a look. So you've got 2 USB-C ports, so which is great. Obviously you've got the MagSafe charger as well, which again is great. Now the 2 USB-C ports, I'm not going to lie, so my iMac over in the corner has got USB-C ports. And I'm not going to lie, there is a connector thing that I do connect into my iMac, which then has like a bunch of USB, I think, is it USB-A's? Like the main big USB ports that you usually see on certain things. And for example, it does include an SD card reader, which obviously for me to, edit my videos and stuff, my camera does support SD cards and stuff. So therefore, I do need to connect it into the SD card reader, which is then connected into my into the back of my iMac for me then to upload my videos and stuff onto the hard drive. Which again, I think the hard drive, I think again is connected into one of those ports as well. So it's great for that, I'm not going to lie. So I'm kind of glad that I have only got the 2 USB ports. I mean, it is quite annoying that you don't have like any others, but there we go, that is what it is. Obviously you do have a headphone jack as well, which again, I don't really know many people that do use headphone jacks, but I guess it is there in case, like, you know, you haven't got Bluetooth headphones. and you've got wired headphones. But aside from that though, that's pretty much what is there. Now I'm going to open this up. Oh, and straight away it's literally woke itself up as soon as I've opened it. Now I'm not going to lie, the touchpad is very, very big. I do love that. I'm just going to take off this piece of paper. What I also love is how clean the screen looks and how clear it looks as well. The other thing that I do love is the notch. The notch is a great thing as well. So what I'm going to do is literally, it's just started itself up, which is great. I'm just going to go over and just say English UK. There we go. And then click the next button. So we're just setting it up right now as we speak. I may need to, yep, United Kingdom, continue. I don't need the accessibility stuff, and then it's just coming up with the Wi-Fi that I need to now put in for my Wi-Fi password. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come back. I'll show you guys how it looks and stuff like that. I've only got probably around about 50% charge on this battery right now, which ain't too bad, to be honest. Also as well, it gives me the opportunity to sort the plugs out and stuff, so that I can get this thing charged up, booted up and stuff, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys a little bit more of this. So what is happening right now in front of you is the fact that the MacBook Air at the moment is currently updating, so that's all fine. So hopefully it'll do its thing, but I managed to set up the Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi is all set up, and of course the software update has needed to be done as well. So it's just taking its time, just currently updating at the moment. It did actually, I'm not going to lie, I mean, obviously you can see the white bar at the bottom of the screen here, but I'm not going to lie, when it first came up, it went very, very quickly, so fingers crossed. You know, this is going to be super fast. Like I said earlier, I mean, this device is going to be slightly slower than the iPad Pro, but it's going to be more faster than the M1 iMac that I've got in the corner, so which is great. That does mean that in terms of like processing videos, for example, if I was to do some video processing, it would probably process the videos even faster, which would be great. So also as well, on top of that, I'm going to say this now, but I would probably suggest that, suspect that this laptop is probably going to be even louder than the one that I've got back there, because the noise on my Samsung laptop isn't the greatest, I'm not going to lie, which is probably why I'm going to say that the Samsung laptop that I do have, I'm going to store away, and I'm going to just use the Apple MacBook here, because it's just going to be 10 times better, I think, in terms of sound, and obviously, you know, like I say, it'll be great for doing editing and stuff like that. So there we go. So I don't know at the moment as to whether or not it's updated. Has it updated? Probably might have done. Or it's just currently doing the update still. It's just installing the update. Probably installing. Anyway, now you can probably tell this on the camera here, but obviously, obviously right here, obviously you've got the Apple logo, and there is that kind of like glare from the camera, like lens and stuff. See, the thing is with this, I don't know whether I could tell the difference or not based on this camera and then basing it on the iPad Pro that I showed you in my last unboxing video, but I feel like the iPad Pro glare is a lot better for the camera than it is here, because right here obviously you've got that kind of white circle thing like going around the Apple logo and stuff. But yeah, so there we go. So there is that. Can I just say, in terms of thinness, like this is super, this is thin, which is lovely. You know, it is great. In terms of weight though, like it's really heavy. And the thing is obviously they used to say about the Air, like, oh, it's a really light laptop and stuff, but I just feel as though this is very heavy. So I'm kind of there. You know, no offense to Apple or anything like that, no hate to Apple, but I'm kind of there thinking to myself, is this really a MacBook Air? Or I mean, obviously, I know you've got the MacBook Pro because obviously that it's got a lot more features, and you know, it's got like better speeds, and obviously it's more powerful and stuff like that, hence why it's called Pro, and this is called Air, because obviously it doesn't have the same kind of speed, or it doesn't have the same power as the Pro and stuff. But in terms of weight though, like this is more, I mean, I'm gonna say, like, in terms of thinness, this is kind of near on the same kind of thinness as the iPad is. But on top of that though, it's a lot heavier than what the iPad is. I mean, the iPad seems a lot more lighter than what this is. So, you know, that's just one thing that I'm gonna take away from this. But you know, obviously, like I said before, you know, the iPad itself, I mean, that's not a laptop, it is a tablet, you know. I mean, obviously you do have the Magic Keyboard, and what I do love about this as well is there is so much space as well, like in between the keyboard, and so like the keyboard's quite small, but there is just so much space for you to like kind of rest your hands like here and stuff, and you're not going to be pressing on any of the keys by accident, which is great. Again, love the backlighting. I mean, that's one of the features that I do love about the about this and stuff, and it's the same with the Magic Keyboard as well. The backlighting and stuff, it's great, you know. So there is that. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the screen though, I mean, this is the thing. So people will probably say, you know, oh, why did you get the why'd you get a 15-inch MacBook Air? Let me tell you now. I'm just going to very quickly. United Kingdom is there. Okay, there we go. So sorry about that. I just had to put in the Wi-Fi again for some bizarre reason, but there we go. So we are connected. I'm just going to say continue to that one from a Mac, time machine backup or stuff. I'll just say continue. Continue. Or back, or I could just select not now actually. There we go. I'm just going to sign into my Apple ID. Okay, so here we go. This is it. This is the MacBook Air, and this is the home menu really. So I mean, you've obviously got your settings, you've got your App Store, your pages, you've got the basics pretty much of like what you get on a MacBook and stuff. I mean, the photo is lovely and all. I probably will change it, to be honest. I might actually try and see somehow or other if I can get a photo of me and Grace to be on my wallpaper. That would be great. So yeah, so anyway, so this is it really. Obviously, it's a very clean looking homepage, not gonna lie, because it's all pretty much at the bottom of the screen really. Obviously, you've got music, you've got TV, freeform as well, notes, reminders, contacts, calendar, FaceTime, photos, maps, all of that stuff. I'll tell you what I may do. I might just see if we do have photo booth. Now this is going to be great because this gives us a look at how I look on camera. Like this. Here we go. So here we are. I look pretty good, to be honest, not going to lie. I don't know if there's no, okay. But I mean, you do have center stage as well, which is great. So you've got that as an option. So obviously that's the photo. You can also take video as well. So you can do video on here as well, which I'm sure is pretty good. So yeah, so there is that. Now, in terms of the apps and stuff, I'm assuming that the apps are going to be very, very limited, because obviously a lot of, so for example, let's say for example, I know you wanted Disney. I mean, you do get Amazon Prime Video. That's one of the apps that you can get on here. But in terms of like Disney Plus, or I mean, let's just say Netflix, for example. Obviously, you know, a lot of these apps unfortunately aren't on here. You can use WhatsApp, which again is great. You can use WhatsApp. Obviously, you've got Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Word and all of that stuff. So yeah, so anyway, so there we go. So that is the MacBook Air for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what Apple products you own, okay? And feel free to hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. I'm sure there'll be a review coming up a little bit later on in the next week or two in terms of like what my thoughts are and how I feel about it and stuff like that. So yeah, and I'll let you guys know as to whether I have taken this anywhere with me as well. That's the other important factor from this as well. I mean, obviously we do also have we do also have iMovie as well, which again is something that I do use quite a lot, to be honest. Obviously, you do get Final Cut Pro as well, but it's something that I've not actually done before. So you've got iMovie. Final Cut Pro is probably something that I would love to get though at some point. So it really does depend whether or not I would actually want to change. I mean, obviously, I know you get on the iPad the iMovie, but obviously, for me anyway, I think the really good thing is I can take this with me, take my hard drive with me, and take my my SD card reader with me as well, and be able to do that, to kind of edit videos on the go and stuff. So there we go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be back again with another YouTube video again for you very soon, right here on my YouTube channel, SteveOfficial.